Hi everyone, welcome to Certified Business Solutions. My name is Lucy Minor. Recently, we discussed about the rate of return for real estate investments, and we saw that it was 5%. Today, we will talk about landlords, how they can avoid losing tenants, and how they can attract new tenants. Most landlords, once they build a flat, they will forever think that that flat is supposed to generate income automatically for the rest of their lives. Just like any other business, it is important for the landlords to know that it is good to keep upgrading and uplifting their real estate investment so that they can avoid the losses. How are you, Dr. Kamau?
Fine, thank you, Lucy.
You're well?
Yes, I'm well.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
So today we are going to talk about the landlords.
Okay.
And how they can avoid losing tenants.
Yes.
And how they can maximize on getting the rate of return in investment.
Yes.
Yes.
You have put it very well that some landlords, once they have invested heavily by building maybe a block of flats, or they have bought an apartment, they tend to think that that's a passive investment. A passive investment is whereby you just make investment and then you forget about it. You wait for the returns. You just wait for the returns to continue flowing. And there are those kind of investments. There are those kind of investments like when you buy a bond. Yes. A treasury bond. Yes. You give money to the government and then you forget about it. That investment will continue to generate income day in, day out without any effort from your side. But now for the case of real estate investment, that's an active investment. It is an active investment. Yes, it's an active investment, just like any other business. If you have a hardware shop, you need to always ensure that you have enough supplies for cement, for specific metal, and those other items that are usually bought by the people who are doing the construction. If it runs out of supply, you do what? You replenish. So it is active. It needs your constant engagement and effort and presence and focus. Yeah, but no, in terms of some landlords, they think once they buy that piece, that block of flats or an apartment, if they now
wash their hands.
They wash their hands.
Wait to milk from the cow.
Yes, to milk the cow without continuing to give the cow what water and food. A farmer, if you can learn from a farmer, when a farmer buys a cow, even if it is a high-end cow, he knows it doesn't end there. Probably that's the beginning. That is true. He has to keep feeding the cow and giving it water for it to do what? To produce milk. So in the case of landlords, those landlords who do not take care of their investments, at the end of the day, they don't get good tenants, and the tenants who move in, they don't stay there long enough. And what happens? Even the rate of return that we talked about of 5% per annum, they don't get it. If you can remember, the rate of 5% per annum was based on the fact that, and we made an assumption that it is fully occupied.
Yes, that is true.
Yes.
It was supposed to be fully occupied.
Yes. So you can imagine a landlord who is not very keen and the house he's building a block of flats is not fully occupied, probably is getting a rate of return of about 3%. So the question that we want to deal and address today is how can that landlord ensure that he moves from that rate of return of 3% to 5% and even 7%. Because even if we say that the rate of return is 5%, that's the average return. Of course, when we talk about average, there are people who have a rate of return of 3%, other 8%. When we add everything together and we get the average, that's when we get 5%. So we want most of the landlords to be among the ones who are attracting a higher rate of return above the average. That's okay. So we start from, we have 3 types of tenants. We have new tenants or prospective tenants, the ones who are yet to move into your building. We have new tenants. We have existing tenants.
Yes.
And yes, the ones that are currently occupying your building. And we have exiting tenants.
Those who are living.
The ones who are living. And they have different needs.
Yes.
In terms of how they need to be treated by the landlord.
Yes.
Now, the new tenants.
Yes.
For a new tenant to move into your house, they need to be convinced that they will have the basic needs that they require as a tenant will be addressed.
Yeah.
The issue of water, the issue of security, the issue of cleanliness, and the house that they need to move into should be in good state of repair.
That is true.
I've seen landlords who lose a lot of money because when a tenant leaves and the house is left
in a mess.
In a mess. Yeah, the house is left in a mess. The house requires a coat of paint. The toilets are not flushing. The do not have keys. They are not locking. The windows don't have window fasteners. Everything is in a mess. So the landlord says, now I will only repair this house
when I get a new tenant.
When I get a new tenant.
And as for me as a tenant,
yes,
I want the house that I will find it's ready, it is repainted,
yes,
the toilets are functioning.
Yes. You would want to move into a house that is already ready.
Yes.
So this kind of a landlord gives their caretakers a lot of time. A lot of hard time. Yes. Because now the caretaker will show this vacant unit to a lot of prospective tenants, and will keep singing the same song that the landlord is saying. Once you pay the deposit, that's when he will repair, and it will only take 2 days to repair. A lot of stories.
Yes.
But this landlord does not understand that the real estate market is a buyer's market. We have a buyer's market and a seller's market.
Okay.
Now, real estate market is currently a buyer's market. And a buyer's market is when the supply of real estate units are so many. So a tenant has a choice to choose from and has a lot of variety to choose from. He's spoiled for choices. So a buyer's market. So if the prospective tenant gets your house is not ready, what will he do?
He will go to the next building.
Yeah, to the next building. Yeah. And if that other landlord is more serious, he will pay there. Yeah. He will commit there.
Yes.
So for those landlords that say they don't want to invest money to repair that particular unit so that it can be ready for occupation, they are losing a lot of money.
It is true.
And you would be very surprised that even the money that the landlord should use to repair that particular house, he already has it because it was deducted from the rent deposit of the previous tenant.
Yes.
So if the house is for 20,000, the previous tenant probably had paid 40,000. 1 month rent deposit, and now the rent for the month. So the 20,000. Maybe he was not refunded, or he was just refunded a part of it, and the rest was to be used to do the repairs. But even though the landlord deducted that amount of money, he still doesn't want to repair because he used that money for another purpose. But even at the time that a month lapses before it gets a new tenant, that particular vacant unit, what happens? He is losing income. He's losing income. So we are talking about a new tenant. So you see the house is not ready, or even a new tenant moves in, and then on the first day she has occupied that house, electricity is disconnected, water is disconnected. What has happened? The landlord was not careful to confirm that the previous tenant had cleared her utility bills. So she left a bill of maybe 10,000 for electricity, and now the current tenant is being inconvenienced by Kenya Power because Kenya Power doesn't care who consumed that bill. All it cares for is that particular meter is connected to that house, and the bill must be paid. So the issue of a house not good in good condition, electricity bill has not been paid. Then you find the house is vacant, but the landlord is behaving as if there is no vacant unit in that premises. If I'm looking for a house,
yes,
I expect to see a to let sign at the gate.
Yeah. You have to advertise.
You have to advertise.
Yes.
If even those people who are dating, a young girl must behave like she is in the market.
Yes.
Yeah? If she starts dressing like her grandmother, no young man will approach her. So
that is true.
Those units that are vacant,
yes,
they need to be put in the market. So if you don't do that, then what happens? No one notices.
No one will come to us.
No one will come to us.
You continue losing your income.
You will continue losing your income. So that's about new tenants. New tenants. Now we go to the next category of existing tenants.
Yes.
The existing tenants, of course, it's a new tenant who has been converted to an existing tenant.
Yes,
we started by being prospective to a new tenant, then we become an existing tenant.
Yeah.
You find a case whereby a tenant has stayed in a certain building for 2 years, 3 years, and some even 5 years. And this tenant has been very good. Yes. He has been paying his rent on a timely basis.
Yeah.
If the contract says that rent should be paid by 5th of every month,
yes,
this tenant has never ever defaulted.
Yes.
Is always he better even borrow than default that.
Yes.
Now we have seasons. There are times that everything is okay, and there are times that we have problems.
Yes.
Maybe now this tenant is sick, or has a sick wife, or has a sick child, or has a sick child parent, or relative for that matter,
yes,
and is unable to pay rent on time. But he has always been paying rent on time.
Yes.
So all of a sudden, the landlord does not want to understand.
Yeah.
He wants to put pressure
for the payment.
For the payment.
Yes.
You know very well that when you moved into my house, you signed a contract that said that you will be paying rent by 5th.
Yes.
So don't tell me about your personal problems. You just pay the rent. If you are not able to pay the rent, walk out of my building.
Yeah.
And the reason the landlord is behaving like that is because he also has a financial obligation with the bank. Maybe a loan.
Yes.
This landlord probably, when he was doing this block of flats, borrowed from the bank, and he agreed with the banker that he will be paying the mortgage payment by 5th of every month.
Yes.
So this landlord expects all the tenants to pay by 5th so that he can get money to pay to the bank.
Okay.
But you see, the tenants are usually pay rent in advance.
Yes.
Rent is usually paid in advance.
Yes.
So for instance,
you pay so that you stay. You pay so that you stay.
You pay so that you stay.
Yes.
We are now in March.
Yes.
It is just beginning. So the tenants are supposed to pay rent by 5th of the month, of this month.
Yes.
And it is for this month. So you see, most landlords who have mortgage obligations, they expect to collect the rent for March by 5th of the month, so that they can pay the financial obligation they have with the bank for this month by 5th. So the pressure becomes too much.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that landlord wants to disconnect the electricity for this tenant who has stayed there for so many years, to disconnect water, and in extreme cases, even to lock the house. And this tenant has not defaulted rent for a month.
Yeah.
It is only maybe for a week or even 2 weeks. So what happens at the end of the day? This tenant becomes angry, and he gives notice to move out.
Yes.
So again, this house becomes vacant. And when he is moving out, he shares his experience with the neighbors.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, the neighbors also want to move out because they feel they are not being treated as human beings.
Yeah.
So the question is, what can a landlord do to ensure that he maintains a cordial relationship with his tenants, who are his customers, and also ensure that he meets his financial obligation with the bank? That's
what
where we
are
are.
they supposed to do?
What such a landlord should do?
Yes.
And it's a good question, because I've had cases, even some of my friends, saying that he feels bothered because his landlord depends so much on him. That this Mzee has to keep calling me. It's like if I didn't come to Nairobi, he wouldn't find food to eat.
Yeah.
He has. You feel like you are being used by the landlord.
Yes.
And he makes you feel that he depends totally on you. He will tell you, I have not paid the school fees for my child because you have not paid rent. I have a sick parent and I'm depending on you to pay the rent.
Yes.
So you wonder, if you had not occupied that house, where would he be getting money?
Yeah.
So the landlords need to remove that kind of a perception. Let the tenant not see as if you depend 100% on them. Of course, it is your right to depend on the income of that house, but don't make it obvious to the tenant.
Yeah.
Now, what such a landlord should do to ensure that he doesn't put so much pressure on the tenant, because if you do that, the tenant will move out. Remember we said the real estate is a buyer's market. So they will just move out and
go look for other services in your neighbor's house.
Yes, even the neighboring building.
Yeah.
So the landlord, what he should do, if, for instance, the rent for the financial obligation for this month that he has with the bank, the bank that gave him the mortgage to build this particular block of flats, he should get source for that money, the ones that he's supposed to pay to the bank as a part of repayment of the mortgage. He should source it from somewhere else. Probably he's also, of course, I believe he has another source of income. If it is if he pays 100,000 per month, gets 100,000 from another source, and pay the bank for the financial obligation of this month, of March. So this month, he has not depended on the rent income for March to pay the financial obligation for March. So March is settled. So if he does that, he will now have time to collect the rent for March without putting undue pressure to the tenants and to himself. So probably by 15th, all the tenants will have paid. And the tenants have paid smoothly without feeling so much pressured. So the rent collection that he has collected for this month, now he will use it to pay the financial obligation with the bank for next month. April.
Yes. So that even in April, the landlord will not put pressure on the tenants.
Yes. So the rent he will collect for April, he will use to pay the financial obligation he has with the bank for May. And for May, he collects the rent for May, he will use it to pay for
June.
And like that. And the tenants will always respect that landlord because he's a caring landlord, as opposed to when he totally depends
on the
tenants. Because what happens, the landlord will get pressure from the bank, and he will be forced to
put pressure to the tenants,
and in the process do illegal things like disconnecting electricity, which is illegal.
Disconnecting
water for the tenant, it is illegal, and in the extreme cases, even locking houses is illegal. So if you do that to an enlightened tenant, the tenant will automatically go to the rent tribunal. And when such a tenant takes the landlord to the rent tribunal, the status quo remains that the landlord is given a notice by the rent tribunal that stop harassing that tenant. Stop. Don't disconnect her water or electricity. Don't lock her house. Don't even talk to her until this complaint she has presented to us is heard and determined.
So even rent, the tenant will not pay for that time?
No, the tenant is supposed to continue paying.
But do not harass the tenant.
So the tenant will also decide to take advantage of that. Because he has a document from the rent tribunal saying that the landlord should not disconnect my water, should not disconnect my electricity, should not lock my house. So of course he's supposed to pay, but the landlord can do nothing about it.
And of course, because the landlord will be found guilty.
The
tenant might even move out without paying that amount of money.
That's true. So it's easier for the landlord to just get some money somewhere.
Yes.
If it is a pressure coming from the bank, pay in advance. So the rent for this month will help you to pay for the financial obligation for the next month.
Yes.
That way, it becomes very comfortable for the tenant and for the landlord.
Yes.
I've seen cases even landlord, they put so much pressure to build and to invest in the real estate,
yes.
but because of pressure, they even die of heart attack. Heart attack, maybe diabetes, high blood pressure.
Yes.
And it's something that they can manage.
Yes,
and avoid. So existing tenants treat them well.
Yes.
If they have a water problem, and you will find maybe a block of flats is supposed to, it has a capacity of 20 tenants, but it is only half occupied. Only 10 tenants are in that building.
Yes.
About 10 houses are vacant. Why? Because every prospective tenant who comes in there realizes that there is no water, and he doesn't even pay for that. For that unit,
yes.
Or perhaps at some point it had better occupancy, but because of the prolonged water scarcity, they moved out. So you find a building that is supposed to generate a monthly income, rental income of about 500,000, it's only generating half of that, 250,000. So the landlord is not maximizing on that investment. He's not getting the best return on investment he should be getting.
Yes.
So what is the solution?
Yeah. Tell us.
The solution, he has two options. Number one, he can of course procure water from the water bozzers. For instance, if it is 20 tenants, and you decide to buy a water from the bozzer, 5,000 liters, it is usually sold at about 3,000. 3,000 per bozzer. Per bozzer. Now, if you decide that that month you will supply them with 50,000 liters, and 5,000 liters is 3,000. So 50,000, we have multiplied 5,000 times 10. So those are 10 lorries. And one lorry is 3,000. You just need to invest 30,000. And then your tenants are happy.
Yes.
And your building is fully occupied.
Yes.
So you invest 30,000 and you get 250,000.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
You think 30,000 is a lot, you don't invest 30,000 and you don't get 250,000.
And the chances of even those who are there living is still high.
Still high.
So even this 250,000 might reduce to 100,000. Because there is no water.
Yes. So it is mind-boggling that a landlord made such a huge investment of millions of money.
Yes.
But now when it comes to maintaining and taking care of this investment, he doesn't do it the right way. He doesn't do it the right way.
Yeah.
So the issue of water, you will find the existing tenants.
And of course, if there is the issue of water, that building is very dirty.
The building is very dirty. And again, any prospective tenant coming there and wants to book a unit, realizes he's meeting the place is very dusty. There are packets of milk, there are packets, those nylon papers for breads and all that. There are even plastic containers. It's very dirty, totally, even stinking.
It is a mess.
It is a mess. And now, because of that, a building that has a potential to generate a rental income of 500,000 per month is probably generating 150,000.
Yes.
Why?
Because the landlord is not taking care of it.
And he doesn't need to take care of it. He just needs to hire a caretaker at a cost of 10,000 or 15,000. And the caretaker will make sure that the building is super clean. There's order. And any prospective tenant coming there would be happy to be a resident there.
Yeah, when you go and find a very clean house, you even love it from the word go.
And even the current tenant, the existing tenants, when they get visitors, they feel comfortable when the visitors come and find the place is clean. And because of that, they get respected by their visitors.
Because they're staying in a very nice place.
Yes. For instance, if I come to your place,
yes,
and then I find there's someone who passed there 11 p.m. at night and puked along the staircase, or there is one of the kids, one of the kids in that estate, yes, actually poo-pooed somewhere in the stairs, it has not been taken care of. There's some nannies who are feeding their kids along the staircases. Food is all over. The place is messy. It is stinking.
Then next time I invite you, you will not come. You will give me stories.
Yes. When you are this smartly dressed, I will start wondering whether you even took a bath or it's just the clothes that you put on.
Yeah.
So the image.
Yeah, the image.
They need to put a caretaker.
Yes.
Again, what we are addressing,
yes,
is the amount of money these landlords are losing vis-a-vis what they need to just invest, yeah, and unlock that potential.
Yes.
You hire a caretaker at a cost of 15,000, you unlock a potential of 250,000.
Yes.
But now there's a problem that some of these landlords, yes, they hire relatives and to be a caretaker, and this relative will not be committed as a caretaker.
Of course,
she will be feeling super super proud.
Belongs to my uncle. Yeah. You can do nothing about it.
Exactly, exactly. So at the end of the day, they harass the tenants. They don't respect tenants.
The tenants, yeah.
So the issue of cleaning, security. You will find the existing tenants, yes, they don't have inside parking to park inside the building. They park alongside the outside, yes, alongside those streets.
Yes.
Now at night, could be there's some thieves who come and remove the side mirrors of their cars, yes, yes, or even break those windows.
And it happens.
Yes, and it happens. Or even remove the lighting of the car. So a tenant will not continue staying in your house if he feels that his car is threatened, is being vandalized, yes, is even at a risk of being stolen, the whole of it.
Yes, yes, yes.
So the house that has the capacity to accommodate or to generate a rate of to generate a rental income of 500,000,
yes,
is generating 120,000 because today,
those who own cars will move out.
Yes, most tenants today, they need a place to park their cars.
Yes, yes.
But how can you solve that? You hire a security guard, yeah, a security guard, again at a cost of 10 to 15,000.
Yes.
The security guard will be coming to report there at night and will be working from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. the following day.
Yes.
And the properties of your tenants, yes, the cars, yes, will be taken care of.
Yeah.
The tenant will feel comfortable. Yes. They will feel safe. Yeah. They will not keep peeping on the window.
Check whether the car is still there.
Yes. They hear another car alarm going on, then they suspect it is their car.
Theirs, yeah.
Yes, that is being vandalized. So they can't even sleep at night.
Yes.
So just invest about 15,000, then you unlock
a potential of
250,000.
Yes.
So the existing tenants. And you find even the issue of these tenants, when they moved in, yes, they thought they could work at home, they could they thought it's a normal place.
Yes.
But there are some houses, there are some buildings that you would be very surprised. And yes, I don't know whether you ever stayed in those buildings when you are younger. The ones that have no network.
Yeah, I have ever stayed there. In such a house.
In such a house.
Yes.
You get into a building and then you are wondering.
Are they not calling me?
Yes, how come no one is calling me? No one is calling me.
Yes.
Only to realize
there's no network.
There's no network.
Yeah.
There's no network. Or even the following day you go out and your friends are telling you we couldn't reach you yesterday.
Yes,
you always switch off your phone.
Yes, yes, yes.
Why? So you can't stay in that kind of a building.
Yeah. You are going to look for a better one.
You are going to look for a better one.
Yes.
So you will move out, another tenant will move out, another one, and a potential tenant will not move in because even when he has come to view the house,
yes,
all of a sudden he wants to call the husband to tell the husband, I have seen a very nice house here. I would want you to come and also have a look.
Yes.
Then he realizes that he cannot get there
through the husband.
Because there's no network.
Yes.
So what can a landlord do,
yes,
to ensure that he boosts the network connectivity, the mobile network signal. There are some gadgets that are sold, electronic gadgets. They are called signal boosters. And they cost maybe a maximum of 50,000. And it's a one-off investment. So you get those guys, the electricians, to come and put them in various places of your building, and all of a sudden, boom.
The network is cool.
The network is cool. It's there. So those tenants who were feeling uncomfortable to stay in a place that they are not able to communicate freely, they will stay. And those and you'll be able to attract.
And of course, they feel appreciated because you are showing concern.
You are showing concern. You are showing concern. So it is very important. You just invest 50,000, you unlock again a potential of 250,000, a potential of 250,000. A one-off. Actually, now this one is not like the one for caretaker that it's a monthly expenditure. This one
is a one-time.
A one-time. And you are done. And you see landlords who don't want to do that. They say it is too probably they don't see the big picture. They say it is too expensive. But you say compared to what?
Compared to what?
Compared to what? So it becomes a big challenge. So most tenants, since COVID came, the way people work has changed. Now, issues of internet. If you can able to attract Zuku people or even Safaricom or these other internet service providers to fit it, to ensure that your building is internet connected and internet enabled. So that a tenant will just come and even be spoiled for choices. Do I subscribe to Zuku? Do I subscribe to Safaricom? Do I subscribe to this other one, to this other one? Because we need internet. So you do that, again you boost the attractiveness of your building. We go to that tenant, the one who is exiting. The one who is exiting, we don't have much to talk about this person. But again, because it is the end of the relationship, but it doesn't have to end like a marriage divorce. That
it doesn't have to end in premium tears.
In premium tears, the one that say it will end in tears. It doesn't have to be like that. Because if you treat this outgoing tenant well, he has the power to refer you new tenants. He can be ambassador of your buildings. He can, and after all, just do the right thing. You don't have to do the right thing because you stand a chance of gaining something. So there are two cases. One is when these tenants are not refunded their money, the deposit money after they leave.
Actually, majority of the landlords do not give out deposit. The deposit after the tenant exits.
Yes.
They do not refund the deposit.
But let me defend landlords a bit, because there are other tenants who do not give proper notices. All of a sudden, he says, and you know what? This month I will not be paying rent. I've been transferred. I have my bill there. A lot of stories. So, and it is very clear in the tenancy agreement that the tenant, one, should give proper notice, and two, should not utilize deposit as rent. So if we can address the tenants now who have given proper notice and have complied with the terms of the tenancy agreement.
But I believe majority give notice, because when you're moving into a new building, you are clearly told that you cannot sit on the deposit. And before you move out, you have to give 1 month's notice. Vacation notice.
Wow.
But anyway, it's okay.
So, and you're defending the tenants in a good way.
Because I've passed through that.
You have passed through that. Yes, and they deserve to be represented. And there are those who are genuine, but again there are those who are not genuine. Now, a landlord should ensure to refund the deposit as soon as the tenants move out, provided the tenant gave out a proper notice, and also that he has taken good care of the repairs that needs to be done. You don't have to tell your tenant that I have to wait for another tenant to move in to pay me rent and to pay me the deposit so that I get money to refund your money. Actually, this deposit money that the tenant pays should be should be put in a separate bank account. It is not the money to be used by the landlord. It is money that is deposit. Actually, the best thing for landlords to do with that money is to invest maybe in mutual funds, in money market, so that at least it is generating some income there. But in the event that the tenants want to move out, you have easy access to that money, so that you refund the tenant. It is not, you should not use that money to make other investments. So it is very unfortunate for a tenant to be told to do what? To wait for 2 months, 3 months down the line for him to be
until another tenant comes in. You even give up.
You even give up. Then there's another thing that tenants are subjected to when they are moving out. There are some repairs or some damages that happen to the house as a result of wear and tear, normal wear and tear. Probably the roof the roof is now leaking because the tiles, after being subjected to different weather patterns, sometimes it's sunny, sometimes it's very cold,
sometimes it's very rainy.
So the roof expanded, contracted, and all that. So it developed some holes, and then it started raining. Then when you're moving out, the landlord is telling you that, when I give you this house, the roof was okay, the roof was not leaking, the perimeter wall was not bent on one side. No, I can see it is leaning on one side. Now he's told we have to deduct your rent deposit to take care of these damages we have done.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense because these damages are not, they're not tenant inflicted. So because of that, this tenant loses her deposit.
All of it.
All of it. So what we have tried to address is for landlords to be considerate and to understand that real estate investment is an active investment.
It is an active investment.
And not a passive investment. Just like a farmer who buys a cow, and this farmer has to keep giving it food, and doing what? Giving it water for him to continue milking it. Otherwise, if he doesn't do that, the cow will die.
And the farmer will not get the milk.
And the farmer will not get the milk.
Okay. Thank you very much. I hope our viewers and for those who are landlords, you've heard about what we have talked about. Real estate investment is an active investment and it needs to be upgraded every now and then. Make your tenants comfortable and they are going to give you the rate of return that you deserve. See you next time.